لا لا بس I remember that specific
Upstairs,
comment.
bro, it's like a club in my house.
لا بس يعني does Ramadan have a color?
White and blue.
What blue? ليش blue?
Allah, that's the night.
Isn't it green?
Really?
Green.
Yeah.
هذا شعار السعودية ذي.
لا لا بس green is like a general Islamic color, no?
Yes, but in Ramadan, that's why you always see the backgrounds are blue, as in Ramadan, Hilal, night.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I'd say it's more yellowy because you associate with light and the hilal and the sun and the stars.
No, that's why it's Hilal, because it's at night. Hilal comes out at night. Doesn't come in the daytime.
Yeah, but the yellow, it's more white than yellow, and in that sense.
Golden, maybe.
Okay. I think we need to define the Ramadan color scheme.
Yeah, let's
Like honestly, like
let's issue the Ramadan brand guidelines.
well, not brand guidelines. Shuf, people know what the brand guidelines are. Okay, Hilal is a brand guideline. Fanus is a brand guideline. I feel like Madri Shwaya Anashid and Ahat Shwaya is a brand guideline as well. I don't know what else could come there.
What's the guideline?
Yeah,
You said there's a brand guideline.
No,
but what is it?
no. When people talk about Ramadan, there's certain elements that are consistent across the different conversations that you can have, right? You want to sell a car? حط فانوس. You know, you want to sell Vimto? حط فانوس. You know, you could work for both.
Yeah, symbols that kind of show you where the vibe is.
Yeah. I'm not sure why a fanus is Ramadan related, though. I have no idea where that came from.
Man, someone told me the story. I just can't remember. It goes back from back.
Muhiya, it makes sense, you know, back in
Yeah.
the day, people would stay up during the night as opposed to regular times where they wouldn't.
And again, goes back to what I was telling you a few minutes ago.
Night.
The night.
Yeah, okay.
Because everything happens at night in Ramadan.
So we're tying in everything together in a cohesive way here.
If you remember all the NBC commercials, they're always at night.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
dark blue then. That's the case.
Exactly, yeah.
With the white. Okay, let's not use NBC as the standard.
I'm just giving you
Yeah.
give you an idea. Well, again, something that's been in our heads, in our faces forever.
True.
Yeah, it kind of gives you the idea of where to go. That's how you use Hilal, Fanus, little stars. You know, it symbolizes night.
Hello. So yeah, those are the main brand elements
Yes.
here.
I told you, there's a club in my house upstairs. I need to show you a video.
Yeah, please tell what's going on there.
I need to show you a video.
Okay. في أحد?
No, not في أحد. The second you get upstairs, all you see is just like flashing lights everywhere. All the lights.
Well, you need to remember where you are and when you are about
I know exactly where I'm at.
No, trust me, you need to keep remembering. No, لا تنسى. أنت صايم والآن لازم تاكل. Okay.
How's the first day of Ramadan? Hey, welcome back to Kabsa Boys. I just remembered what's happened, what's popping, episode 291. Got the homie Shams right next to me.
Yo.
Number one is back in the building.
Hello.
We get one, we lose one. Tex is not here. He's feeling under the weather. Hope he feels better. He's fluent like a motherfucker right now.
He's fighting the sickness.
I forgot some of them. I'm not supposed to curse. Oh, wait, no, it's nighttime. Okay, never mind.
I mean,
I'm joking.
someone actually asked me that question.
What do you ask me?
Are you guys going to curse in Ramadan? I'm like,
Have you
well,
even seen the last 5?
tune in to find out was my answer.
The one thing that we try not to do is play music.
Yeah. Ahat coming to
What
play
are
now.
we, not even Ahat.
Yeah, I have some Ahat remixes if you guys are interested.
If Kendrick drops a track right now, it's going to be an issue for all of us.
We need chanting. We need more chanting.
What's happening? Boys, again, Ramadaning? Yes. How's
الحمد
the
لله
first
كل
day?
عام وانتم بخير.
وانتم
يا
بصحة
تقبل الله منا ومنكم.
How was everything? How's Ramadaning with y'all?
Wallahi good, alhamdulillah. I'm really happy that the first day happened on a Saturday and not on a Sunday. At least you get to ease into it before
Going to
jumping
work.
back to
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
The benefit of having the caffeine withdrawal at your home as opposed to the office really helps.
Question: are you one of those people that
Yes.
drink? Really, you drink coffee before you go to sleep?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Wow, man, that shit is real. Then I heard someone say that yesterday. I'm like, how?
Yeah, you
they're like,
used to-
well, they're like, I wake up and I have the caffeine in my system. Like you're not supposed to sleep. It's like,
Okay, no, that's a bunch of idiots.
yeah,
No,
like
that's
it doesn't
stupid.
make
That's
sense to me.
stupid.
It just
No,
didn't
no,
make sense to me. You know?
Caffeine doesn't stay on for like, oh, yo, you're about to sleep. I'm gonna pause until you wake up and just kick in.
I'll get my V60 now, but it's part of it.
No, I basically I'm so caffeinated it doesn't really do anything for me. I can drink
Exactly.
it. I can drink it and sleep, but when I don't have it in my system for like I don't know 24 hours something like that, the headaches are headaking real bad.
طب يعني
I don't get that. Even though I drink so much coffee, I don't get that at all.
لا بس إنه again 20 he said 24 hours in your case.
I drink nonstop.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever seen me without my cup?
تفطر and then قهوة على طول.
Yes,
like
automatically.
you and my brother.
Yeah, it just so happened that I slept and woke up in the midday, and you know what? It's gonna be a long time till futur, and I need to make this stuff last.
And then
And then the headaches are really awful. Like, thank God they don't smoke because that 2-for-1 special is gonna be really bad.
it's gonna be real hard now. Real hard.
No, I get more caffeinated from tea than I do from coffee.
Really?
Yeah, because my body just got used to coffee. But if I drink tea, I'll stay awake. But coffee, it's okay. I'll just finish it up right now and just go pass out.
What is this new caffeine type that
Exactly.
you are giving me, sir?
Start itching and scratching the whole night.
Nah, thank God I don't have those problems.
Y'all got some of that Darjeeling?
Yeah, I know. I'm good. Thank you.
So the first day of Ramadan, a good family
First
good?
day was good. Weather was nice. We had our futur outdoors. We
Nice.
changed up our Ramadan system this year compared to
As
other
a
years.
family?
As a family. We're doing like one big happy family Ramadan, as opposed to segregated gender Ramadan, which I think might still happen once a week because everybody wants to invite their guests and you give the people the space to feel comfortable and stuff.
Aw.
But yeah, alhamdulillah, it started off great.
Nice. How about you, number one, with your big ass head?
I had it with the family, and it was lovely. And some people shouldn't cook.
Yo. we always find out during Ramadan.
It's like A for effort.
I mean, this is one of those times where you keep those snarky comments to yourself.
Yes,
like,
I do,
this
I
is
do.
not the time
I
to tell
do,
people
I do.
their cooking sucks.
Trust me, I do.
Yeah.
Didn't listen to the podcast. That's why he brought it here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say, this little gamat looks like it was alive at some point. I don't say that to their face,
But it's the first day. People are still calibrating. They're still,
Yeah, granted,
everybody's calibrating.
the little niece cooking because she's 12. You're gonna grade on a curve.
Yeah. You agree to go. See, this is where the hasanat come in. This is where you say nice things, okay, in order not to hurt people's
It's like,
feelings. Yeah.
I don't know
lovely.
how that's a weird ass sound,
Crunching.
but I don't know how I feel because I'm not used to waking up and eating. Like even though like I would wake up like hours before, so usually when I wake up, I would usually just have coffee, and I don't start eating till like 5 hours, 6 hours in,
Oh, okay.
right? And because
You don't do breakfast, right? Usually.
no, I rarely do breakfast.
Okay.
You saw how I eat.
Yeah.
I wake up.
I don't live with you, homie.
You always come here. You always see me having a salad first.
Fair.
I only have like one big meal a day.
Healthy Adel. Learn from Healthy Adel.
So it's only like one big meal a day. And so I wake up like 4, 5, 6 hours in. I have my salad. And then I wait another 4, 5, 6 hours. And then I have my dinner 3 hours, 4 hours. After that, I go to sleep.
طبعاً, with non-stop coffee
The coffee never
interjections
stops. Yeah,
throughout the
never
whole
stops.
day. Okay.
Caffeine and nicotine all day.
Give me that. Okay.
So like today I woke up early. I was alright. Like I wasn't feeling hungry or anything. I'm already used to it. But then I'm like, okay, like I'm used to like my brain knows like, yo, it's food time. So I'm like having soup. And I'm like, why am I having soup?
I don't want to have soup
Like
now.
my stomach is like, yo, what are you doing to me, dog? Like, now I have a problem. Now, okay, like, do I have my big meal in the evening and then just have like my salad before I go to sleep? No, I need to,
yeah, okay. Your schedule is all upside down.
Exactly, because I have like a specific calorie count that I do every single day.
Okay, and you're not willing to change your diet at all?
At all. I'm not trying to gain any more weight.
Bro, sambusa. Come on,
Nah, bro. No, I don't do sambusa. I haven't been
Really?
doing sambusa for like 60 years.
Air fry it, my guy.
None.
Okay.
I have soup, mento. Done.
Okay, mantu is a sambusa substitute. It's fine.
It's a cousin to sambusa.
Yeah, sambusa substitute. That's fine.
But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
It'll take you a few days.
a fry pan mento, by the way.
Oh, it sounds
Pan fried.
healthy.
A pan fry, you know
Pan
it.
fried. You mean?
okay.
I'm fat.
I know. I just remembered.
Stayed فجأة
He took it personal. I said it wrong.
Excuse you, sir. Excuse you.
Hey, stupid.
Yeah. No, but I'm glad that Ramadan is here. I'm happy that it's happening during colder weather. Alhamdulillah.
My big thing in Ramadan is just
Makes
like
it much easier than the summer.
yeah. My big thing is in Ramadan that I indulge in Ramadan. I just kind of go ham on the desserts.
Yeah, there we go. I was thinking about that.
That's me like, you know what? It's Ramadan.
That's my biggest fear right now.
Our dessert game was very weak today. I think people were still confused. Who's supposed to bring what? فكذا ما كان في الجماعات بس, you know.
جامات جبنية كنافة علي
I just heard something I really hope I didn't hear, so I'm not going to repeat it.
جبنية?
جبنية
No, way before that, but it's not
Ali?
good. No, he just let something slip real quick.
كنافة
No.
No, just let it go, bro.
All right, obesity. All right,
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah.
Like, tame it.
Like we know you're thinking about food. Like, you know, تاكل كمان شوي. Don't worry, we'll feed you.
it's delicious.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ramadan Barak, everybody. This episode is sponsored by Quick and Curious, the number one podcast for Ramadaning.
Okay, if you like Ramadan recipes, guess where you can find them.
Quick and Curious.
Exactly.
Available on all platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
Ramadan decoration, Ramadan food,
You want soup?
everything in Ramadan.
They'll tell you about the soup.
Exactly. They just came back also, so catch up on everything in Ramadan with Quick and Curious.
They have great Gaymat recipes. Don't miss out on those.
But if you still like Hitler, الكورة معنا. It's still
Still the place to go
podcast.
for all your German historiography, you know? Talk about the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. They got it.
If you want to know about the history of Jews, there's another podcast called Al-Ab Gaming. You can also find everything you need to understand about how it started, where they're at now.
They really get into the history of the nation. You get to learn the difference between Judah and Israel. So go learn.
Yes, Al-Ab Gaming. It sounds like exactly what it sounds.
Al-Hab gaming doesn't sound. That sounds like
This is us wanting to share the knowledge of all the things we know our tens and tens of listeners want to know
exactly.
about.
sounds redundant. It's like podcast.
Guess what?
It's called Al-Ab. I'm calling it Al-Ab Gaming.
Guess what? That's a great name for a podcast, sir. You don't know what
It's
you're
the
talking
podcast
about.
podcast.
It's the podcast. What do you got? We podcast, sir. We podcast.
It's like that thing from Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing. It's a podcast about podcasts.
It's a podcast about podcasts. Exactly. Sounds comprehensive.
What you guys been up to lately?
Wallahi, nothing much, to be quite honest. Things have been slowing down recently, I feel.
Vibing.
Yeah, vibing, very much vibing.
Number one, did you vibe this last week?
So weren't you traveling?
Yeah.
Hey, look, if we keep exposing where he's being going at, people got to find out who he is. We're already having a problem with people trying to find out who he is.
How's Siberia?
First off, I don't know what value will people get after finding out who number one is.
I mean, they satisfy their curiosity.
What curiosity?
He's
He's not interesting. I'm just telling you.
There's a desire to know, Ad.
let
There's
the-
a desire to just know.
Let the
Lagafa. Exactly. Lagafa.
let the allure be there.
Exactly.
I might
Once
be-
that they find out, they'll be like,
And to all the ones that thought you figured it out,
you were nowhere close.
try again, people. Try again. He is much more ugly than you think. Looking at it right now. Can't stare away.
I have eight pack abs,
It's
Yes,
like
I forgot. And you're the sexiest man we've
and
ever
I'm
seen.
incredibly tall.
yeah.
Gorgeous.
Incredibly tall.
And eyebrows that don't end. They keep all the way around, bro. It's like
Eyebrows like elbows.
his eyebrows are supposed to be
out.
just here, bro. Not like around your eyes.
I have poor distribution of hair.
Yeah,
It's
very
not a prob-
very poor.
It's not a problem of supply. It's just a distribution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you want to find out everything about number one, there's a great podcast called Quick and Curious. It's about everything that has to do with listener number one.
Talks about hair.
Exactly.
Talks about terrible thope colors.
Exactly.
And
Everything you want to know.
I'll have you know, I have 4 moons revolving around.
Oh, my bad. I
Not
got it wrong
three.
last time.
One's-
my bad. So it's
one's
four
just
more.
really, really small.
Anyway, I got a bunch of things before we bounce.
We're bouncing.
I'm looking for the end of this podcast before we even started.
started.
Actually, not true, but
Yeah.
let's act like we have family waiting for us. We need to get out of here.
People that care about us, love us.
I saw something very interesting that has to do with Chinese scientists. Would you like to hear number one?
Tell me.
Please.
Chinese scientists have developed the world's most advanced spy camera.
Okay.
Surprise there. Using a laser-based system capable of unprecedented precision. Researchers from the Chinese Academy of Sciences Aerospace Information Research Institute successfully captured images with millimeter-level resolution from over 100 kilometers away.
Yo.
Wait. Again, millimeter level resolution from 100 kilometers away.
Yes, sir.
That sounds terrifying.
Exactly.
Okay.
An achievement once thought impossible. This technology could enable China to closely monitor foreign military satellites. Okay, no, all right. That's it. The end of it was just American propaganda.
So this proves that birds aren't real.
Okay.
This is where.
Why?
this is-
What does it have to do with
because
birds?
if there's a bird on a power cable somewhere 6 taquito hinak,
Getting charged.
exactly, he's getting charged with a laser first of all, and he can see what I'm doing.
Why is he getting charged with a laser if he's on a power cable, you moron?
Dude up. No, he needs vantage points.
All right.
So what you're saying is that people are going to be more paranoid when they book Airbnbs right now.
Now, again, this technology is ridiculous.
No, here we're talking about you're being able, if you actually have a drone that can see so far ahead of it, then you're talking I don't even need to see you to know that you're seeing me, Does that make sense?
It's like a ghost.
It's like a ghost.
Yeah, 100 kilometers, bro. What are you talking about?
That's a lot of kilometers, by the way. That's a lot of kilometers.
Imagine
what's 100 kilometers from Riyadh right now?
100 kilometers. Well, again, the other is very huge. So it depends.
خرج. That's مشوار.
Yeah, Kharj is around 100
Yeah,
something. 100
مشوار
something.
طبعا.
Depending where you're on. Riyadh,
فتخيل
it
you
could be
have a
100
bird on a power cable في الخرج. Like you see what you're doing with a
Watching
big ass
you at
head. Exactly. Trying to cook. Get mad with an air fryer.
I mean, my big ass head isn't an achievement.
Exactly.
They can see it from Mars.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, China. I mean, I appreciate the forward march of technology, but at sometimes I stop and think,
No, but look at it in terms of border control.
okay.
There's a lot of useful things for it. Border control.
I'm not saying it's not useful.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm saying is it's
No, see, we've been
Scary.
programmed to think that anything that's created out of China
It's
is
scary.
exactly. That's what we've been programmed. If Americans made this, we'll be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Look at the achievement.
no, because the Americans will launch it with a bunch of fireworks, bro. They're gonna make it look cool.
But when you look at it compared to what, I'm just going to ignore all that. When you look at it compared to what the US does, I'll be more afraid when the US creates this kind of technology than China.
Because the US has the capacity to actually deploy this around the world and actually use it against other people
No, because
compared
the
to China.
US has done way crazier shit
Yeah,
that taps
I'm
into every single thing that we have. And we're all like, oh, it's okay, just the US.
Yeah.
So if the question here
It'll be
becomes,
like, hey, Israel, here's a new gift.
Exactly.
no, but again, the question here becomes, if China has this technology, what says the US doesn't have it already, right? They just didn't announce it.
Again, we are in a world right now when there's someone that's actually a competitor to the US. When it comes to innovation, innovation has not been coming out of the US lately. It's been coming out of China. That's why they were so happy with AI and they made a huge deal about it. And then China was like, oh, watch this. They ushered them.
You ChatGPT, I deep seek this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that the US announced recently that's really ridiculous was Microsoft with their new quantum chip.
Yeah, it's, apparently they've created a new element.
They created a new element.
Yes.
What do you mean you created a new element? Like there's not 156 now?
I think it's just magic and قاعدين يسوقون علينا at this
Okay.
point.
It's magic.
Yes.
They created a new element. We have more protons.
Bro, a quantum computer is about this big. The chip is this big.
Yikes.
And they created a new state of matter because they need a way for them to stabilize.
Wait, a new state of matter or a new element? Those are two different things.
You mean state of matter? What is that?
I'm gonna find it for you because it was like 2 weeks ago. I just didn't want to talk
No,
about
but honestly, I think you touched on an interesting point, which is we have been programmed to see anything coming out of China as scary. And I think that's actually a really good point. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's a tool. It depends on how you use it and what you use it for and who you use it on. You know, if I'm looking at China and how China has been conducting itself, China wants to safeguard its own security more than go and dominate other people and enforce their hegemony on them. Unless we're talking about, the South China Sea, but that's a different state. That's a different situation. We're talking about the U.S. as a global power,
Which
trying
is
to force everyone to kowtow to them.
which is I think now with the new administration, they're like, you know what? Peace out. We're gonna do our own thing, cost America first and all that.
That is the claim. That is the claim.
That's never going to be.
That's
America.
never gonna happen.
It's
but
never gonna happen.
But people are spooked to a degree, and like, yo, Europe are spooked, Ukraine is spooked. And I'm assuming we're gonna
Well,
get to
Europe
that.
is spooked because America was the guarantee that nothing's going to happen to them.
The guarantee is no longer there.
Yes, the guarantee now is no longer there. I think Macron came out a couple of days ago. He was like, "Oh, France is going to protect Europe,"
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh." Everyone was like, "Oh, okay, so France is going to go back into heavy military production." And okay, if you want to do that, if Germany also wants to do that, you should have planned for this a long time ago. But you made all these agreements with the U.S. You gave them everything that they ever wanted, and you're like, okay, this was the real security deal. By the way, it's not the security that's happening in the region. No, that is the real.
That's the
security
original
deal.
security deal.
Not only the original, this is the real one. Is if anything happens to y'all, we'll protect y'all. Y'all don't even need to think about military anymore. You can invest your money anywhere else. And then everyone fell asleep.
And then again, when have you ever thought of military supremacy and the French at the same place? I don't think those two go together.
The last time they had that, there was horses were the main vehicle of transportation.
The last time they had that, there was a very short man, and he was very much dominating the entire
Excuse
world.
you, he wasn't short. He was very average for the time. That was propaganda.
Okay,
Also, if you want to know who's this short man, there's a podcast called Quota Man where they discuss the short man.
It talks about the other, hegemon of Europe in the 1800s.
Let me read you this. we went off track. A groundbreaking new chip brings quantum computing within touching distance, according to its new manufacturer, Microsoft, potentially hurdling a new era of tech-powered madresh. At the heart of the Microsoft's, every time I see his name, I just say marijuana. Okay, it's
Mohawk.
Morjana or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a J or an H. I'm lost right now.
What's the word?
Majorna.
Okay.
Majorna 1 chip is the world's first topo conductor capable of creating a new state of matter, which is not solid, liquid, or gas.
Anyway, see, that is scary. Okay, when we're talking about creating new states of matter, that is, there's only 3, guys. Probably 4. But number 5 is too much.
So they're saying what they created is because, it's hard to have quantum computing chips, be stable.
Yeah.
And this is the way they created for it to be stable. Now, when is it going to production? When is it going to be available to a market? We do not know.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something they can scale up very easily.
Exactly. And I think a week after that, Amazon came out like, we also have our own quantum.
We have our own state of matter too.
It's 2 things. They claim that single chip has more computing power than every single computer on Earth currently. And it's kept cooled by a freezing mechanism that's, according to them, is the coldest place in the known universe because they need to keep it that cold, apparently.
Yeah. So there's nowhere to go there. Okay, imagine they start taking it to Antarctica and start melting the ice because of trying to cool down a damn chip.
Okay, actually, there's 7 states of matter. I stand corrected. Solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Bose-Einstein condensate, which is really dope that I get to have my own state of matter named against me. Quark, gluon, plasma, and degenerate matter. What is degenerate matter?
It's matter made with
You're degenerate matter.
Degenerate matter. Is that what name is? Degenerate matter. Okay.
It's matter that parties in deserts with 8 cups.
Well, that's like, I think there's much more degeneracy to be had in this world.
That's a good one, by the way.
You
should put that in a dictionary.
It's like, try harder, number 1.
No, but need to. You got it perfect.
No, but that's actually cool. But again, I think these kinds of advances are not. And yes, you can come up with a scientific advance, but can you actually monetize it, commercialize it? I think that's a whole different question, honestly.
Oh, you're talking about America's. You're talking about capitalism.
I'm talking about capitalism, prime capitalism, sir.
They're gonna. That's what's gonna happen.
Exactly. They're gonna find a way, bro.
So if Microsoft is on that, what the hell is DARPA on at this point?
Well, exactly. That's exactly my point. If we're hearing about the stuff that China is doing now, I get the sense that the US has had this type of technology.
Well, IBM had their quantum computing that's been DARPA's been using, and the US have been using for a long, long time.
Regular people.
Exactly. Yeah, they've been having some sort of quantum computing, not the quantum computing that they're marketing that they're gonna have. No, they had something of that sort. I can't even go to break down the detail because.
Just to explain this to our non-regular listeners, the difference between regular computing and quantum computing is the difference between a donkey and a hypersonic jet.
Exactly.
And that's basically what we're talking about here.
So to put it a metaphor that's easy to understand.
So that wasn't easy to understand. Okay.
I mean,
no, it's
it's a really, really fast blade.
No, just the idea of quantum computing that all computing language now is in binaries, either 1 or 0. Quantum computing is like can be in between. So in a traditional computer, if you had, let's say, a mouse that would run a maze to get to the end, he'd have to follow every single route once and until eventually he finds the right permutation to get the right way.
Permutation, I love that.
Quantum computing, you can literally just go
drop 100 mice.
100 mice and all at the same time, every single permutation, and get that in milliseconds.
And that's a good word.
That's the difference between doing your own homework and doing a group work. That's basically
not even that. Like,
all right, let's start with the metaphors. Let's move forward. There's something that I want to talk about. Like a while ago that I totally forgot. I saw it on. I think it was CNN who posted about it, or BBC. I can't remember anymore. It was on Instagram, but I want to play it for y'all because it's very interesting. And hopefully I can get the audio working.
Actually causes continuous anxiety, even when there's no danger around.
Let me give you a breakdown first. So this is Dr. Martha.
Story running in the brain is what actually causes continuous anxiety, even when there's no danger around. So that was one thing. I realized that was going on. And then I started to see that neurologically, the opposite of anxiety seemed to be creativity. If you look at the two parts of the brain that process that, they're kind of mirrors. And it seemed to me that they toggled. When one is on, the other goes off. we know that when anxiety comes up, creativity goes off. I decided to see if pushing creativity, active creativity of all kinds, not just like the arts, but literally making anything, would shut down anxiety. And it turned out that it does. Pure creativity is writing a card to a friend, making a sandwich, inviting people to a dinner party, thinking about how to arrange your furniture or wear your clothes. Everything you make or rearrange counts as creativity. So instead of thinking you have to do the creative arts, just make stuff. If you're worried about something, instead of thinking, what should I do? What should I do? Ask yourself, what could I make right now? And as you start to make it, even if you don't really want to, as you start to make that sandwich or whatever it is, you'll find that focusing on the creative activity flatlines your anxiety.
That's a really good point. That's a really,
because when you think about it, you realize, oh, actually, it is true.
It's actually true. When I'm focused on something I'm enjoying, something I'm like genuinely into, and you get into that flow state, you don't stress, you don't worry, you don't.
When she said that, it kind of, I started calling back on a lot of times when I'm anxious, like either I'm waiting on something or I'm doing something and I'm waiting for a response or looking for an answer for something. And it's that period when you're anxious of what's it going to be, how's it going to be. I find myself doing like weird shit. And then like I totally forget about me being anxious, right? When I stop and I remember what I want, what I was anxious about, it comes up again. Then when I get myself busy with something else, I totally forget it. Then I always keep myself busy nonstop in order for me not to be anxious.
That's a really, really insightful point, I think, and I think it speaks to the. It's about action. It's about actually doing something rather than just sitting and waiting. Because I think like a lot of anxiety comes from that. You're just waiting. You're anticipating. You're worried. You don't know what's going to happen. How things are going to play out. So when you distract yourself with something, that magically goes away.
I don't know if it magically goes away.
Yeah, it's
not magically goes away.
No. She mentioned it like they're tied together. It's a program in your head.
I would say part of that is because when you're doing something, anything that's creative, you focus on that and you literally forget the whole world around you.
Exactly.
You can get to focus and forget about your deadlines, forget about your job, forget about your anxiety. Just focus on this little nice picture that you're drawing right now, or this nice coloring book that you're doing.
Is that why I doodle?
You doodle?
I do doodle.
Doodle?
I do doodle. I'm great at doodling.
I've never seen you doodle. I don't even know. I'm not going to continue with this conversation with your dumbasses. All right.
No, but
I don't think it's creativity. I think just do work.
Mohia, she mentioned creativity not in terms of the arts, in terms of just doing something. And I don't think making a sandwich is creative, right? Unless you're like, hey,
you're a chef.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a chef or someone who likes to cook, then you'd be like, yo, let me just make a sandwich. When you make a sandwich, you're paying attention to all the details.
You call sandwich makers artisans.
Do you? I don't.
I call them sandwich
You call them artisans?
Okay, we don't need your obese take right now on that one. You just named every single dessert a second ago.
So the advice here is
be active.
Get yourself busy.
Just be active. Yeah.
Get yourself
go
busy.
jog, run, do something. No, jogging is a kind of an issue because you kind of free your mind to start thinking again. Basically, keep yourself busy with something that requires your mind and your hands.
Well, wow, very insightful. Appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that beautiful piece of advice.
Shut up.
What do you like to create when you're anxious, Adil? Tell us more.
I'm not gonna tell you.
Come on.
No.
What?
I know what Adil creates.
What?
Examples.
Out of y'all.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I used to do what's the name? What y'all see over there?
Ah, yes. These big man toys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big man toys.
Big man toys.
And then it was Gundam for a while.
Other big man toys, even bigger big man toys.
And then I started other things I don't want to talk about on the podcast.
No, but that's the idea of creativity. You are literally building something with your hands. With
because when you sit on something that has like 10,000 pieces, right? You sit there and you're thinking about every singular piece, so you kind of like separate your mind from reality for a minute. And I love that. I love separating my mind from damn reality.
As I grow older, I can sympathize with the model train people.
Yeah, true, right?
It's like, you know what? Yeah, I get it. A little bit autistic, but yeah, I get it.
No, it's you're creating a world, so it's something that you are super engaged in, and it's actually fun. It's not that boring. It's not that boring.
No,
SimCity.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at these little people.
I love SimCity. But every time I want to play SimCity, I'm like,
Is that still a thing?
yeah.
Yeah. I used to play SimCity a lot back in the day.
I wanted to build a whole city until I was like, I don't have enough memory to do this. Like, I'm not going to remember all this. And even my PC is like, yo, please tech.
Bro,
Don't.
the pipes I used to lay. What are you talking about? Like I was,
Whoa.
yeah, like this.
Yeah, exactly. Online. That's all you can do. Son.
Like, exactly.
In a game. That's the only place you can lay pipes.
Putting on those pipes, bro. What are you talking about? Left and right. But yeah, never really got into The Sims. I didn't really care
Yeah, The Sims was trash.
much for people.
SimCity was awesome. Like, hey, people are dying in this area.
Yeah.
So what?
No.
I hated that neighborhood.
Fireplace. Take away the fun thing of the firemen, and watch the prices go up. Yeah.
Stay creative, y'all.
Stay creative. Do shit. Do shit. No, honestly, do shit. Like if anything, this podcast is inspiring you. It's to actually go and do something.
This podcast not inspire you. I do nothing.
Of course it does. How many people came up to you and told you, "Oh my God, I want to do a podcast now because y'all do one and y'all are great."
Someone in the airport passed by and it was like, hey, you didn't post the question of the week.
Okay.
If I looked, I'm like, yo, who the hell is this
Billah
person?
alik.
Pastor Kabsa was the last thing on my head.
Like someone actually told you this
Yeah,
in
somebody, I
person.
sat down and asked me. Remember I told you there was a team there?
Yeah.
It was one of them.
Okay.
And he was like, he looked at me. Like he was passing by and he was staring at me. I'm like, I don't know why is this
I
person
love
staring
how
at me.
recognizable that
And
bald
then
head
he came
is.
and he was like, you don't post the question. He's a young kid. He was like, you don't post the question for the week. I'm like, what question?
That's so confusing.
Yeah, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then he was like, pass the Kabsa. And I didn't want to have a conversation, right? So I was like,
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good on you, son.
Yeah.
Good on you, son.
I wasn't like, hey, man, that was amazing. No, I'm not approachable, y'all. I'm not approachable.
I mean, as you can see, he is approachable with care and caution.
Wait,
you
so
know.
this was a random person at the airport?
Yes. That's why I put it yesterday. When I put the question, I was like, yo,
What-
shout out to the
Shout out
person.
to the
What
person.
I understood is somebody from the airport that you knew reminded you. From
No, I don't know this person.
Yeah, we are famous. We are
and
recognizable.
that is why I am listener number one, not the person that you know.
Trust me, you don't want to have a conversation with number one.
Look, yo, respect to them for figuring out who I was because I wasn't wearing my glasses. I'm always the white because I was in my face.
Mm.
So either this person follows my personal account, he knows how I look like, or I don't know how the hell he.
Or he
figured it
likes
out.
to keep track of angry bald men. I think it's.
There's a lot of us.
I think.
There's a lot of us. I mean,
trust
look at this right here.
You have. He's not bald. His head covers his continent.
I mean,
Can't be
we're,
bald
we're
when you
getting
cover.
there. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Plate tectonics, my guy. You can't be bald with plate tectonics. What are you talking
There's
about?
a shift in the land.
Exactly. Mountains might come up later.
I don't have bald spots. I have fault lines.
No, but shout out to you, Youngin. Honestly, thank you for reminding this gentleman in order to give us more content for this episode.
I totally forgot. I
Yeah.
was too busy being an uncle. So my sister showed me her baby, right?
Congratulations.
Shut up. All right. We did this last week already. I don't know why we're doing this again.
We're still happy, bro.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
So she was like, the second I walked in, my older sister was just like, hey, you want to hold the baby? And I was like, nah. So my other sister, she was looked at me, she was like, you don't want to hold my baby? I was like, look, I'm gonna be very honest with you. Until the person can talk and speak, they have zero value when it comes to anything
Okay,
else
you
with
do
me.
know that talking and speaking is a very relative thing, you know?
Until they get there where they can function, I can have conversations.
Shuf.
I'm
Trust
not
me.
the guy who sees a baby like, oh my God, yo, a baby.
When they say Khalu Adil, that's when you know.
When they start speaking, I start talking to them. The problem I have, I talk to them like adults.
Hey, well, of course, that's the right thing to do, by the way.
I don't talk to them like they're kids. I talk to them like they know what's happening in the world of politics today.
Hey, Malik, bro, they'll catch up. Malik. And to keep talking that way, they'll catch up.
They're more like, yo, what's wrong with Unc? yo?
But Khalu, Ukraine. You know,
tell you.
that's fun.
Big
That's
Unc
fun.
is here, so she's gonna be good. Shout out to
But Shuf,
everybody around. The
I don't
family.
believe in holding babies when they're first born.
Same here.
They're too fragile. If
And knowing myself.
if it falls and breaks, I don't want to be responsible for
Oh,
that.
bro.
I
You
mean,
know,
when it's your baby, you can't then have a choice. You know.
when it's my baby, it's a different situation. I will be seated, sir.
Exactly, yeah.
When once that happens, you know, I will not move from my seat
You're,
once that
you're not
happens.
gonna do skin to skin.
I mean,
Yo.
baby to I'm not sure if baby to
Relax,
beard
son.
is gonna be a good idea.
Well,
Honestly,
it's a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's not a mother. You moron.
I've seen dads do it.
and how are their kids?
What?
It's really fucking weird. But I've seen them do it.
Is that
Yo,
how? Is that
your
why
dad-
you're
your
autistic
dad,
nowadays?
Do you think? Could you imagine that doing that when you were born?
My dad didn't know my name.
He's not trying to tell you, son. Which I support.
No, see, I might rub the beard against the baby, but I think that's no.
You're a weirdo.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I want him to be.
Hey, baby. Hey. What are you doing, son?
I want him to be instilled with my Shamsi
Who
genes.
gives a shit? Your sister has it already,
Hey,
son.
but she doesn't have the beard, Adrian. She doesn't have the beard.
She lacks beard.
Exactly. I need to make sure the beard is passed along, honestly. You know? That's my job here.
I'm like, welcome to the world, baby. Here, have some blisters.
Yeah, that's you,
Let
sir.
me scratch you up, son.
Not a Malik is softer nowadays, Adrian.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Malik,
No, it's not.
في شامبو جديد.
Relax. I use conditioner.
Hey, Malik twice bad.
No, if it was mine, it's my responsibility.
Sure.
So of course I'm gonna give a shit about every single little thing. But if it's not mine, I'm like, I don't want that responsibility.
And it took me a while to, when my sister had her nephew and niece a few years ago, it took me a while until I was actually comfortable, like, engaging with them, like holding, okay?
I mean, the milestone is that if they can hold their own head by their neck, you're pretty good.
Yeah, you can go.
But if that thing is flipping and flopping around, it's like
you.
One thing I didn't know about kids or babies or children, or what do you call them when they're two? They're not
Toddlers.
babies anymore.
Toddlers.
Okay. And I don't know if I used to do this back in the day, but I actually really respect this. Whenever they want to poop, they leave the room and they go to a corner and they sit down and nobody's supposed to look at me. Like, don't look at me, I'm pooping. You know, and I'm like, damn, homie, you got some
Why
self-awareness
do you
there.
like people watching you when you go to the bathroom?
No, I think
Same thing.
I think as a child who has a diaper on, I shouldn't give a shit.
They're
right?
not pets, yo.
You know, but
They're
how
humans.
would you know that I'm pooping? You wouldn't know that I'm pooping. I could be,
First off, I don't want to know.
I'm just
Why are you
saying.
telling? Why are you? Okay, first, no, let's finish this conversation. Moving forward.
I mean, Adrian, he's exploring himself.
I don't know. Not on this podcast.
like imagine.
How would you know?
Imagine me walking to the bathroom and say, "Poop's on the way." no, but yeah. If anything, it just tells me more about how fascinating children are. Honestly,
They're not fascinating. They're
Exactly.
of course, they're fascinating.
No, they're
no.
not.
They
they're-
see life from a completely different lens and angle than you
They're-
They
do.
don't see nothing.
You cynical.
They're
They don't know. They don't.
they're an
Dumbass.
They're an adorable liability for the first 6 years,
Horrible liability.
and for 6 and going up, they're just a liability
When do they stop being a liability?
when they're out of the house. Because when they're out of the house, they're somebody else's problem.
So I'm a liability nowadays.
Kind of. Yeah.
You've been a liability.
What do you mean I've
On
been a
this
liability?
podcast, to your family, to your friends,
Skinny.
you're always a
But
liability.
adding risk, Adil, raises the value of things. You have to understand that.
You're not
Yeah,
an
raises insurance.
You're not an investment, my guy.
Exactly.
Trust me. I
No,
am.
no, the fuck
This
you're
is
not.
gonna pay off.
No, that's not gonna
so
pay off.
much for all of us.
You're almost 40, dog. It didn't
No,
pay
I'm
off
not,
till now.
not yet. I'm midway there.
Someone actually asked me the other day. He's like, "Yo, why is Shamsi always in denial?" I was like, "That's how he lives. He lives off of denial.
No.
If he sees reality, he'll cry.
Excuse you. I live off vibes.
No,
okay.
yeah.
I live off vibes and feelings. Adil.
Vibes and denial.
Yeah.
A healthy breakfast.
Because I'd like to think of the world as a happy place full of opportunity and adventure. That's why I'm in denial.
You can have
Because
some
y'all
dumbass kids,
y'all
let me tell
remind
you.
me that it's not. And I don't want to believe in that world.
Well, why don't you want reality?
I feel like it's much more fun in my head. Yeah, that's my take. on that.
There's a more underlying problem there that we can't solve.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You need to
I
seek
feel
help
like
for
my
that.
reality is better than all of y'all's reality.
Not really.
Yeah,
We can adjust. We can adapt to the times and adjust. You won't.
We can beg to differ. لا يا عادل, أنا at times adapt to me. Like, what are you talking about?
No.
You know,
See, exactly.
as a singular individual in this era.
Singular, almost 40 individuals.
You know, in this era, you know, I feel
this
like
era.
you know my contributions to humanity will
Yeah,
be remembered.
yeah,
sooner
No,
or
the fucker
later.
won't.
Yeah,
عادل لا تحطم.
No, the fucker
لا
won't.
تحطم عادل أرجوك.
yeah.
You are just nothing but a peasant in all of life.
You're a peasant, sir.
No, the fuck I'm not.
You're a peasant.
يا مواليد الثمانينات
1800s.
Yeah, شوف.
The 1900s.
شوف. Watch me.
Watch you do what?
Okay, just celebrate my.
We're all in the 80s. What are you talking
He's
about?
not.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
He's
he's
a
not.
child.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm
He
a
wasn't.
90s baby.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I'm
a
the
90s
cursed
baby.
generation.
He's a 70s baby for those looking to know what his real identity is
70s
actually.
from the 1700s.
Yes, exactly. Medieval shit coming on here.
It's like one of my just favorite memes is just a picture of just a guy crying, and the caption is just موال التسعينات. They're just like that.
Y'all stupid.
Good luck, y'all.
It's funny how he said babies, no, it's toddlers. And, if you're a Saudi, it's bezel.
Slash witter.
Exactly. No, it's bezel. When you start talking, it's not witter.
You know what I really like? I like how Al-Imaratiyin, they call them yuhal. Like you ignorance. You literally, ya jahil, ya ignorant, you ignorance. Yeah, that's a nice way of looking at it.
الحال they call them وغدان. وغد.
Anyway, before we bounce.
Okay.
I said that for the beginning of the podcast. Before we bounce. Y'all want to talk about Zelenskyy and Trump? Did y'all watch it?
Yes.
I did.
You did?
It's very uncomfortable.
It was hard to watch.
Oh, you watched the 7-minute one or the hour one?
La, the 7-minute one.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw the whole hour
Nah,
one.
Yeah.
it was hard to watch.
It's very
Why was it hard to watch?
It's like
Okay, for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, can you give us a breakdown?
so Trump.
No. Give us a breakdown. What's going on? Why not what
Context.
happened in that? Just give us context.
The context is that a very terse and very testy, I don't want to call it press conference, but a televised meeting between Trump, Zelenskyy, and J.D. Vance, the vice president, happened. And it ended with an argument. And basically, Zelenskyy was told, go back, leave the White House. They canceled a scheduled press conference and dinner. And now, as of, I don't know, an hour or so ago, they're officially requesting a public apology.
Who is officially requesting apology?
The Trump administration.
Well, look.
Oh, they're... wow.
Okay, first off, okay. So Zelenskyy came to the U.S.
Yes,
to talk to Trump.
correct.
Before he came, I think who was Mark Rubio was the one who's head of State Department.
Yes.
I think he was
Secretary of State.
About the mineral deal, you mean?
yes.
Yes.
So they went to Ukraine. They're like, listen, we want our money back for what we gave you. He was like, no, y'all gave me money. This was not a loan. And they're like, in order for us to take it back, we want 50% of all your future minerals.
You know,
I think it was
rights.
more than that at some point.
Let's say 50%.
Let's say.
Right? This will help cover the cost of all the money that we gave you to go to war. And also, this will be a new security deal for you where we'll have to protect you because there's something worth protecting. And the American people will understand why we're protecting you.
So they're basically saying give us a reason to be there.
So he was like, nah, I'm not giving you any of that. So then they went back and forth. And then they were like, okay, you know what? He said, okay, I'm agree. But I want to go to Washington to sign it. From what I understood, right? This told me automatically that he never really wanted this. So when he went there, he went with the whole idea of showing them, yo, your people cannot force me to sign this deal,
Yeah.
right? So I look at it from Ukraine's point of view. You forced me to go to war.
Who's
the U.S.
you? Okay.
The U.S. You forced me to go to war. I wanted to sign a peace deal. You told me no, don't sign nothing with him. He's a monster, and we're always going to protect you.
And this was the previous administration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is Biden. And so I went to war. You gave me all this money for whatever, even though, like, I don't know how is one of your ministers has a new Rolls Royce, but that's a different conversation to get into.
Ukrainian minister.
Yes. They play with the money. They passed the money around. There was a lot of corruption. It was very obvious. Anyway, you told me to go to war. Now you tell me I need to pay for that war. And you tell me I want your
Mineral rights.
resources, right? No, I'm not giving you my resources. Now I look like I'm a puppet, which I really was a puppet because you did a coup to get me into power, so I can be your puppet.
Shh.
Oh, so I've got that was the quiet part.
We
So
don't
you
talk
got
about
it
that.
loud.
We talk about that. We talk about
Okay,
that. We don't talk
okay.
about that. Okay.
That's how Zelenskyy came into power.
The
y'all.
2014 coup, the Maidan Euro
Was it
Maidan
14?
Revolution,
No, no.
2014 Euro Maidan. That's when
It was after Crimea.
Crimea happened right after that.
Right after that?
2015.
All right, there
Yeah.
we go. So Crimea was 2015.
2015.
Okay, I thought it was 2014. That's why I messed it up. Well, anyway, there's a coup, y'all. So you did all of this, and now you coming to force me into sign this deal to give you even more leverage and power. And from his point of view, he's like, okay, fine. If I'm forced to sign this, I want you guys to give me 100% that if anything happens from Russia, you guys will defend. And they were like, we can't give you 100%. You know, even Congress is not going to even allow us to give you 100%.
They got nukes, you know.
So he was like, no, I'm not going to sign this without 100%. Then I don't know what happened that he found a way to get to the White House thinking that he's going to sign the deal that they wanted. So they were happy to bring him in and do the press conference. And this is where shit hit the fan. Because I look at it from both sides. I agree with the Trump administration that Zelenskyy was a total piece of shit. That he should have never done any of this. He should have never came out and started speaking that way and being so undiplomatic.
Correct.
He should have never done that. He came in like it was Shamsi at the White House. No, I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? No, you can't tell me something. No, there's a place. There's a time and place.
You should have read the room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he came in.
رحم الله امرئ عرف قدر نفسه.
Exactly. At the same time, Trump already knows that this guy came to talk and try to give support to Kamala Harris, Kamala, whatever the fuck her name was, right? For her to go and get into power because he needed Democrats because they're the ones who were feeding him. So you already know that Trump doesn't like you. You already know that you don't like them. You want to come in and start discussing and saying, no, what you need to understand, at the same time, you can't go to another country and say, no, I'm going to tell you, you guys are next. You can't do that. You can't just come and start bitching.
Well, you see, but that's the argument he was making with Europe. And that argument flew in Europe because Europe were like, yeah, this guy's right next to us. So, yeah, we understand what you're saying,
But it was
sir.
never in public like this. What you did, you tried to make everyone look stupid. You pissed off Trump and Vance, and that's why they went after you. That's why you got all that weird energy because you tried to do it publicly in front of the American people. And no sitting president is going to look like a dumbass in front of the American people. No, he's going to trash you. And that's what they did. They trashed him. They made him look stupid. And he put himself in that position. Do you see the Ukraine ambassador?
Yeah, holding her head.
Yeah, she was like, because she can't believe what's going on because Zelenskyy was so dumb for doing this.
And keeping in mind, like, I think there was a big awareness as soon as this administration came into power that the U.S. support that was happening for Israel is no longer going to be happening on the same pace. Democrats had an agenda in order to push war against Russia. The Republicans don't want to play that game anymore. And for Zelenskyy, I kind of feel bad for him because I feel like he's definitely between a rock and a hard place. You were supported by an administration for 4 years that said, yo, we got your back. And now you're dealing with administration that says, yo, you started this shit. Exactly. And you need to resolve it. So, like, I was following your lead for 4 years and now I'm getting screwed because y'all are not interested in playing this game anymore. So and I think this was what in his head. And like, yo, I need to show myself as a strong leader who's not going to be browbeaten. Fair. Who's not going to be browbeaten into signing a deal that is detrimental to the future of my country. And I'm going to go and speak out loud. Now, I think his issue was the speaking out loud part about
Exactly.
it. Yes.
I don't have a problem with what he said because he asked some legitimate questions. You guys are saying 1, 2, 3, or what about 4, 5, 6? Him trashing Putin out publicly like this is not how you're supposed to do it, sitting next to the U.S. president, right? What he said, I don't have a problem with. You could have had it on the back end, discuss it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
That's where it's supposed to be had. In front of cameras, you can't show any of this. No, show an alliance, show that both of you are on the same page, shake hands, show that, us in America, we're good. Then behind the scenes, no, talk your shit. But you can't jump up front. One of the guys told me, he's like, oh, you're stupid for thinking that way. No, he had the absolute right to do this. I was like, imagine if it was us.
No, we're talking about diplomatic.
Imagine if it was us. Imagine us, we're sitting down with a country that we supported, and this guy comes in, he's like, no, I don't want you guys to do this, and he starts talking shit. Even us as Saudi people are like, yo, fuck this guy. Why are we helping him? Because the way you're doing it is wrong. No, keep the conversations behind doors. In front of people, just show, I mean, the British Prime Minister was there and Macron was there. Both of them were not happy to be there, right?
Yes.
But they know how to play the game. They start laughing like everything is a joke, everything is funny, we're enjoying ourselves. And then behind closed doors, it's like, no, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
I think
diplomacy optics matter.
Yeah,
and I think the optics here, like the way that they were not united, that they didn't stand together, hurt more than anything else.
Exactly.
I think it's the difference now is that the West is basically understanding what Saudi understood a while back. They had a reliance on an ideologically committed U.S. empire, quote unquote, under the Democrats. Because, as you need to know, the Democrats are all about ideology. It's all about identity, ideology. So we will throw anything to a cause that we believe is inherently right. Now what's happening is that you have an administration that is a realist administration. I'm like, yo,
This doesn't make sense.
this doesn't make sense. Why are we so many people dying? I'm like, yo, this الأوضاع لازم تهدى. I don't care. Democracy, liberalism, yeah, that's nice, but that's my taxpayer money that's going down a hole, and I can't handle that.
No, but keep in mind, like, there was a consensus between both Democrats and Republicans for a long time, like since the Bush years. Yeah, since the Bush years, they were walking step in step in Iraq, they were walking step in step in Afghanistan, up until Obama. And once the Obama doctrine came in and Obama started saying, hey, Arab Spring, hey, we're not going to support Syria. That's when the Republicans said, like, okay, you know what? If we're not doing this properly, then let's not just do it at all.
No, the difference here is that
That was one of them.
Yeah, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, let's not do this at all. Let's just save our money. We've already lost so much money in Iraq. We've already lost so much money in Afghanistan. We don't really have much to show for it at the end of the day. So why are we still getting dragged into these wars?
The difference
That's
now,
the Republican point of view.
The difference now is that what happened with Obama, he basically supercharged that ideological component to everything. And now
You need to sell empire somehow.
fuck reality, fuck the people on the ground, fuck everything else. As long as it, you know what, I like these guys. Let's support these guys. It's basically the raison d'etre of the Obama doctrine. Or whereas the Republicans, after taking that huge L with the global war on terror, the invasion of Iraq that basically went nowhere, the invasion of Afghanistan, you know what? Actually, let's look inward, and that's where we have like this America first.
Make America great.
America first in general. And now we're having that reality come into focus right now sharply, and it's caught a lot of people off guard.
This is the chickens coming home to roost.
I love the fact that Trump allowed it to keep going. I really like that.
Shuf, and it was hard watching because it was just so uncomfortable seeing,
Zelenskyy gets smacked around.
like, yeah,
You
like
opened the door to
global
yourself.
leader being put in a position where he looked like a little schoolboy being chastised.
You were
know?
already the schoolboy that they told you go to war. You said okay.
Yeah, see, that's a different. That's
Like,
yes.
to them, to the U.S., like, hey, bro, we put you in power. We allowed
We
you to
kept
do all
you
this.
in
No,
power.
We put you and kept you in power.
He was just reelected under martial law.
And now, like, yo, we put you around here. Now you come in and talk shit. When they were saying you should say thank you, they were not talking about say thank you for what's today. No, say thank you from the beginning of everything we allowed you to have. So, yeah, don't forget that your role was supposed to be a small little puppet for us. Remember who you are. Don't come here talking shit to us thinking you're a man, because you're not a man.
Obviously, we're talking about this in the context of great power politics, which,
Exactly.
which, like, again, we're not talking about, yeah, it looks bad, yeah, it's shitty behavior, but again, this is big boy politics. Big boy politics is about getting your interests moving in the way that gets your interests moving.
Exactly. How many? I won't be surprised if this kind of settles down. All of a sudden, Zelenskyy is like kicked out, and then Ukraine needs a new frontier and shit. And they start creating things about him, start talking shit about him, and start saying, "Oh, look, all the money that he wasted," and so on. By the way, if they're just gonna chase the money, there's so much to find.
How many
out.
billions? How many billions were
The
spent on
billions.
Ukraine?
Every time his wife is in New York, she's at like Saks Fifth Avenue. She's in Tiffany. She's in Cartier. It wasn't like I think it was during COVID when someone
think so.
released all the receipts that she had.
Adil, she's going through trauma. Okay, she
needs to go purchase.
She needs to heal somehow.
But that's the thing. Like, there's already evidence of your wife just blowing money. There's evidence of all the people in your cabinet blowing money. The Rolls-Royce Spectre just came out a couple of years ago. Why does your minister have one? And you're going through war, and he's going to work in it. So, like, it was obvious. There's a lot of money being played around with, right? So they have something to say, you know what? This is why we don't want you anymore.
And keep in mind, for a lot of the Democrats, this was war is good because war means arms companies get paid, our companies get paid. That means the U.S. economy is being held up by all these war profits
And democracy.
and democracy.
The thing is with the Democrats, right? They made him feel that this gravy train is going to go on forever.
And he's a hero. He's defending that.
Exactly.
And it did go on.
They forced him into every single place. He was being applauded everywhere he went, and he's a hero, and yada, yada, yada. They did all of these optics, right? Because to them, like, the Democrats never really cared. Because to them, like, yo, no one's going to come and fight us.
We need to back our horse, and we need to appear
It was
strong.
never about backing their horses.
No, for the Democrats. And this is the horse that we chose to run this show. We need to show support. We need to stand behind him. We need to be, we need to be the free world, Adil.
But let's look at Russia's point of view, right? If you're Russia and you're looking at the US, what they've been doing since the 90s. In the 90s, after the Soviet Union fell, you said, what? Oh, man, we're never going to go east. We're going to stay where we are with the Western European. We'll never go to Eastern Europe.
And then
Then Clinton comes into office and is like, no, we're going east. So you're watching your enemy get closer to your borders. Of course you're going to start defending yourself.
not to mention, you already saw how the U.S. was able to buy your leader at the time, Yeltsin, and put him in place and watch the country get robbed for all throughout the 90s, up until you had Putin come into power. And Putin was like, okay, We are a great nation. Why is this shit happening?
Yeah.
We're not going to let this shit happen anymore.
Beat the shit out of the oligarchs that were helping the U.S.
So from the Russian point of view, like I don't blame the Russians whatsoever for ended up going on Ukraine.
Because they've been in this place before.
And this is their neighborhood. This is their historical neighbor. This was actually part of Russia up until Stalin said, "Hey, khudu hadiya," you know, and that's why you understand the Russian point of view. But at the end of the day, I think I can see the end of this war happening within the next year or two, maximum. Like that's that. Looking at the state of play right now, definitely the U.S. doesn't want to keep funding.
If Trump wants it to end today, he'll end it today.
That's what I'm saying.
But
US
for
is-
the optics, they're trying to make him come to claim with okay.
and they're going to let it wind down in a way where, hey, we're going to get something out of it, whether it's the mineral rights or a stake on a certain piece of land over there.
If he says, you know what, nah, I'm not gonna do it, it will stay another year. They're not gonna give him new weapons. They're gonna wait on Europe to give him new weapons. They're gonna make deals with. There was a weapons expo that was here in the region a while ago, and not to put on names or anything, but a lot of people that were there, when you go and talk to them, like, oh, what is this new weapon? No, how is it like? Oh yeah, we've been testing it in Ukraine for 2 years.
Yikes.
So a lot of people, weapons manufacturers, they have a lot of weapons that they want to test.
They're happy.
Yeah,
It's a testing
but they're
ground.
not going to provide them so much weapons for them to fight off Russia. It's not going to happen, right?
We need to maintain our profits.
Exactly. So it might run for another year, but I think if the U.S. stops funding, he has a year to 2 years max.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. A year to 2 years under this current state of play with the current direction of everything. Again, and if we go back to it, that's the funny thing, bro. Like if we're talking about Europe being able to actually go and stand up to Russia, like again, we just mentioned how the French were known for their military superiority. And yeah, who else is in Europe that actually has a big enough country that can actually fight back? Wait, the Germans? Do we really want the Germans to rearm? Do you think that's a good idea, everyone? I think everybody has a consensus that that's
Even
not a
if
good
Europe
idea.
says, yo, we're going to protect Europe ourselves, like, you know, let's say like,
How?
exactly.
How? Like literally, I just said it. Like
Yeah,
Europe is not
they
going to let Germany rearm. Germany is the biggest and most, richest nation in Europe, and yeah, we've seen that play out before a couple of times. Didn't go well. Let's not go there again.
If it goes this way, then the EU will dismantle 100%.
It's already dismantling, Adil.
No, it's already dismantling in practice. Yeah. But officially dismantling, this is what's going to break all of Europe.
أنا أشوف إن اليونان بيننا وبينهم علاقات وطيدة من مئات السنين. Y'all should come over here.
We're living a crazy time that's just not going to make sense today. In the future, looking back, this is going to be wild.
Yeah,
I remember the Chinese curse.
may you live in interesting times.
May you live in interesting times. I think we can definitely define like the 2020s as interesting times. Since COVID started, damn, it's been interesting.
It's a return.
2010s, bro. Let's not even go down. The 2000s.
Oh my God.
It's a return to
interesting
great
times.
power politics, more or less.
Yeah. This is about me, myself, and I now.
Fun stuff.
I want to go something else, but let's go back to this for a second. The problem with great power politics is that the world is running out of minerals. No single country has all the minerals they want, right? So they still want to make deals with other countries. Now, how is that going to look like?
Have you heard of the moon, Adil?
Even the moon is not going to protect you.
It's made of cheese.
Yeah.
Shamsi.
No, but that's a good point. That's actually a good point. Like and like nowadays, the mineral discovery of deposits of rare earth metals and all that stuff, that is going to be the leverage for the next century. And
Guess why Taiwan is so important?
not just Taiwan. Guess why Afghanistan was so important.
That's why Ukraine is so important.
Yeah, because all these countries have this stuff that nobody else has.
Anyway, get to questions?
وناسة
اللهم زيد وبارك.
اللهم احرمنا من شرهم بس.
امين يا رب وخلي حيلهم بينهم.
اي والله خلي حيلهم بينهم.
Anyway, questions before we bounce?
هذا اللي ما يصوم رمضان يا ابو
هذا اللي ما يعرف ربه.
ربه يا ابو عدلون. And I say it jokingly, but I'm actually, I'm serious about
I know.
it. Like,
By the way, if you guys want more conversations when it comes to Trump and Vance, there's a podcast called Freaking Curious that covers this whole topic.
they can give you a deep dive on the historical relations between Ukraine and Russia. I learned that Russia started in Kiev. Did you know that, Adil?
Didn't know
Quick and Curious told me that, It's called the Kiev Khanat. You know, it was an offshoot of the Mongols. Thank you, Cooking Curious.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Anyway, questions.
Yeah.
Ramadan Kareem, lads. That's from Sense. Shout out to Sense. Ramadan Kareem, habibi.
عم تبخير.
There's a couple of deep ones. I don't know.
That's not a question, homie.
I'm going to tip them around them.
Yeah.
Trump and Zelenskyy arguing for like past a Kabsa episode.
No, it didn't. We're much more sophisticated in our conversations here.
I can say,
especially when Trump was like, wait.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Plus, we don't argue. We debate.
I can definitely say
With fists.
With passion.
I can definitely say in that conversation, Zelenskyy was the Shamsi.
No, I'm not.
100%
No,
you.
bro.
No, you were
I'm
Zelenskyy.
much better, well dressed than that.
Interrupting.
I got style, bro. Nobody's gonna ask me to wear a
But
suit.
that was so disrespectful how he's trying to talk over everyone else that's talking.
Shamsi.
That's actually, again,
Bro, I don't talk over everyone else.
have you?
No, I let
I'm
you.
gonna keep my calm down. Listen. You're gonna sign this deal,
Okay.
okay? Or I'm not funding you.
Bro,
from
I
now
let
on.
you talk and I don't listen. That's what I do.
Actually, no, you do both.
That's what I
you
do.
talk over me and you don't listen.
Exactly. Much more respectful.
Next one. Thoughts on PwC being banned from working with PIF and its subsidiaries? It's not. It's only.
not banned.
I think it's for a year.
It's temporarily stopped for a couple of quarters, not even a year.
It's a year. I think that's
Yes.
what Bloomberg said. I think.
Until Q2 26.
What I can tell you is that we cannot give you our point of views on these things because we have friends and relatives that are very close around us that work either in the government sector or work in the private sector or work with consultants.
Plus,
And when we give our point of views, I'll tell you something. I gave my point of view on something, and then one of my friends called me. He's like, "Yo, bro, I think I'm gonna get in trouble for this because I know you, and you hit it spot on, and then they might think I'm leaking something to you." But this is why we kind of avoid this conversation of consultancy and so on. But they found something, obviously, and a decision was made. So we'll see. You have to wait and see.
basically.
Next one. Number one's plan for world domination.
What? You can't. Okay, well, actually, with your head, you can.
He is dominating the world.
I will be so pathetic that people will have to love me.
So your world domination is I just need love.
Exactly.
That's why you're
that's
dominating the world.
That's my driving thing.
I would argue that you're already pathetic. You're not going to be pathetic. So
I can achieve more patheticness.
okay.
Exactly. You haven't seen shit yet.
I haven't.
You want pity? I will give you pity.
I haven't locked in.
Pity hour. 7 to 8. Anyway, next one.
Next one.
Why there are no Walmarts in Iraq?
What? Why?
Because everything there is a Target.
I didn't write that.
That's actually a good one. That's terrible. That's so bad.
So
bad.
So
But that's actually not bad.
Smart
Yeah,
but bad.
It's clever. It's clever,
Clever
sir.
but bad.
Well done. Don't do it again.
Again,
Let
takfir.
it down. We have number one. كفاية.
Next question. Your favorite Ramadan food?
Ooh, food.
Ooh,
لا شوف, not food specifically.
You just said food.
No, not specifically
he said
food.
food.
لا food. It's just like the arrangement of the sauces.
What's your favorite food? Stop giving me a whole one answer. What's your favorite food?
special food? Not food.
Just like you. You're a special food.
special
also.
food.
Jibniya.
Whatever's on the plate.
Really?
I'm not a greedy person.
Not discerning at all.
At all, bro. I'm the easiest person.
رجل متواضع.
جدا.
Okay.
Relax.
Relax.
Oh my god. Shamsi, revise your zombie plan. Sincerely, uneducated listener.
What do you mean revise my zombie plan? What is
Shamsi has one plan. Okay, there's no other plans.
Kuch. What is my zombie plan? I forget what my zombie plan is actually.
Exactly. Anyway, next one.
Okay,
No,
next time
no,
give
I'm
us
not
more
waiting on this one.
context.
No, don't give us context. We don't want to do this anymore.
You know?
Why are women asking for so much to get married? How will all this improve the marriage?
Are you all right, listener?
I mean, I think
You seem to be going through it, listener. Tell us what's happening, listener.
yeah, I don't think we're the right people to answer this.
Are you posting in very specific subreddits, listener?
Do you relate, sir?
No.
Yeah. Ask the woman. Don't ask us. We don't know.
No, women no. It's stupid. Don't ask the woman because they're going to say, yo, she has the right.
They deserve it.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's a queen.
It's called knowing her worth.
Well, bro, this question needs to be more detailed. Are you talking about like mahar? Are you talking about like, the wedding itself?
Love, attention.
Like, it depends.
Let's assume it's the capex for the marriage.
If it's the capex, I really have a problem with that. Because do you want just a big marriage or do you want a good life? Shut up.
Bars.
Shut up. Stop.
Bars.
Relax.
Okay.
It's that simple. Because if you already know the situation of the person you're getting married to and you love this person, then you understand the financial situation and you understand the financial situation of life. So what carries more value for you? Because people do big weddings for other people, not for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For the family, for the prestige, for flexing.
Exactly.
Not because you want to enjoy it. No, because I want people to talk about how big my wedding was. I don't want to talk about how nice my chocolates were.
And as a person who's getting married, as a man, you need to make a decision of, do I want to do this or not?
I don't care about your chocolates.
Yeah.
I care about our life.
I want to say something really awful, but I just can't.
Say it.
Do you care about my chocolates?
No. Fuck your chocolates. No. My head went somewhere else, but no, I'm going to get in real trouble if I say this.
رمضان يا
رمضان.
تعوذ بالله بليز تعوذ بالله
Exactly, yeah.
استغفر الله
بليز جنبي المشكلة.
لا معلش مربوط من يومين
I don't know.
تركته في البر.
My guy, reach out. I know who you are. Reach out. We'll talk about
We'll discuss.
this.
We'll
I'm not
discuss.
doing it on the phone, online for
Yeah.
people. No, hell no.
We'll give you some real advice.
No way. Anyway, next one. Top 3 Saudi actors. We don't really pay much attention, but
Yeah.
I have an idea who's going to be the best 3 in the future, though.
Who?
Khairo, Ibrahim
Okay.
Khairallah, Ibrahim Hajjaj. Those are my top 2. I forgot the third one because I forgot his name.
Okay.
I would say Dukhi, but to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think I don't think I'm aware enough to be able to answer this question in a good way, honestly.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for asking a question that we haven't asked.
Yeah.
I can say about the future, though. The future, that's what I think. I think Khalil does an amazing job. I think Ibrahim Hajjaj does an amazing job also.
Agreed on both.
Dukhi also has his own range. So I think, look, when Tifaz 11 was like on the number 1 in YouTube for us, like you saw how they act. Moeed al-Nifai,
Moeed al-Nifai, definitely.
Moeed al-Nifai,
Yeah,
definitely
I would
also.
add Moeed al-Nifai there,
Yeah.
honestly.
like, they have amazing range that, I look forward to. But that's my
Your
point of view.
opinion.
Next one. Girls who marry Westerners and take the last name as if it's a trophy.
Lister, what's going on
What?
with you?
This is different. Okay, I know what this is about. There's
A phenomenon?
there's someone who is from an Arab, a Khaliji nation, that got married to this dude from the US. His last name is Jones. So she kept her last name and then Jones after it.
Yeah, this is called buying into it way too much. Like, we don't do that.
This has way too much eat, pray, love energy to it.
Yeah. And the sentiment is people that's around, they were like,
What the hell are you doing?
he did that just to say, look, I'm different. I'm not traditional. I don't do what y'all do. I'm special. And she's an influencer also.
Yeah, of course they are.
Of course they are. Because an
mean,
influencer will only do that shit.
Because she got influenced, honestly.
Here's the thing with the phenomenon of Saudi women marrying foreigners. I think I speak for most Saudis is that we do not care anywhere
give a
near
fuck.
anywhere near the amount that you think we care.
At all, bro.
It's like I see them sometimes pop up on my algorithm. I'm like, أنا زوجي الإيرلندي, أنا زوجي البريطاني, أنا زوجي الاسكتلندي. I'm like, okay, good for you. It's
Who gives a shit?
and who gives a shit? It's like,
You need to give a shit, number one. You need to give a shit. Why don't you care about my great and wonderful life?
it's like you're gonna have beige children. I don't care.
Page. No, I think the funny thing about this is I think there's a lack of awareness where that actually came from. Like the whole concept. Why does the wife take the man's name?
No,
Because
I
in
think
medieval-
I think there's a concept is that there are some Saudis who care, and those Saudis who care a lot, and they get into their feelings a lot, and they mistake that percentage of people caring as everybody else caring.
Yeah, maybe. But again, like the question I asked, like why did the wife take the husband's name back in the day in Europe?
Because I'm special.
No, because the wife was considered to be the husband's property. Because females, ladies, didn't really have rights in European history when it came to their husband. You were his property. You were his to do as he wishes, whatever he wants. When it comes to our society, no, there is an awareness and acknowledgement that you are your own individual person and you get to keep your own name because you don't belong to him. You belong to your family, yourself.
But Thanthi, he makes me breakfast in bed.
Oh.
He bring me the flowers.
والله good luck Mrs. Jones. الله يوفقش. الله يوفقش. الله يستر عليش. You know. الله يهنيش. الصراحة يعني.
Anyway,
That's
next
all
one.
I can say.
Oh my God. I can fix him daughter, or I think she's the one son.
Yeah, there's two neither, bro. Do I have to choose?
Exactly.
Choose one.
I think I can fix some son, honestly.
I can fix him daughter, or I think she's the one
I think
son.
she's the one son. I think she's the one son.
I would go with she's the one son because I can fix him daughter has a mortality rate attached to it.
Yeah. Like I don't see that going well. I can fix him. You can go really bad, but I can fix him.
Said somebody who was unfixable.
Exactly. Example.
Yeah, bro.
Example.
Trust me, I am so aware of how unfixable I am. And guess what I'm doing about it?
Not fixing it.
Fixing it. No, I'm trying to fix it, bro.
The funny thing is that you've been going to therapy for how long?
I haven't been going to therapy for long.
I said for how long? I'm asking you how long.
Yeah, and it's on and off, Adil.
Okay, how long?
Like, I
That's
don't
my
know,
question.
6 months or something.
It was longer than that. Don't lie.
Actually, this is on and off.
It
There's something on and off,
longer
bro.
than that. It was way longer.
I'm taking
than
breaks.
that. I'm taking breaks from therapy.
Yeah, bro.
It was too therapeutic.
No, exactly. It was way too therapeutic, bro. Like I need.
Fuck this. I need reality.
No. I need to sit in my delusions for a little bit. Y'all can't tell me what's really going on.
Don't give me reality.
Don't give me reality. Actually, I have a session coming up next week. Yeah, special Ramadan session.
This is a Ramadan session. Oh my God.
تغير المواعيد.
Anyway, up to the next one.
Do it 3 a.m. now.
I want y'all to know that you're shadow banned in the States. We know.
No, please,
We
no, my God.
You're not the first person to tell us that. We already know that. You got to search for us. We will not just pop up.
Guess why? Because
Anyway,
because
next
too
one.
much truth. We bring too much truth
All right. Okay.
to these
All right, calm
net
down.
streams.
Calm down. Calm down. All right. Relax. It's Ramadan. You're screaming. People are trying to keep their fast.
Yeah, but do it.
Anyway, how? No, never mind. That's again stupid. Someone close to us, where is it? Someone close to you told me this will be the last year for the pod. It'll be a huge loss if true.
I think we give a shit.
I do not know who you're talking about.
Who are these rumors?
The only person actually recently that I talked.
Talk to
I don't
the
know.
pod.
I'm trying to think. Shall I say this or not? I'm trying to remember.
Probably not.
Me and Gelek, shout out to homie Gelek.
Shout out.
We had a conversation about this. And Gelek was very clear. He's like, listen, if you want to stop the podcast, stop the podcast. There's still 2 more episodes that I'm doing this year, whether you like it or not.
ما عليك موقتها.
I think it was 2 or 4. I can't remember. I was like, all right, I have no problem. So I don't know. Is it going to be our last year? I don't know whoever told you this, but that's not true because last year was our last year.
Every year
and the
is our
before
last
that was
year.
our last
Every
year.
year
and
is
the
our
year
last
before that
year.
was our
You're
last
giving
year.
us way too much credit on this thing called forethought.
Exactly.
You know what it's called? It's called living on the edge. We like to live on the edge. So please allow us.
Anyway, last one.
Last one.
Is it the last one? I can't remember.
Time it's your time, Brad.
Hold on, favorite. All right, last one. Thoughts on Saudi trust fund babies? Adil, be honest. Why are you putting it?
I mean, good for y'all. بس يعني الله يعينكم يعني at some point.
My point is
That's
that
not a thought, by the way.
Is that thought?
That's not a thought.
my thing is that people don't like you for your personality, my guy. Just in case, yeah, you're not popular because you have a sunny personality.
Where do you find most of the Saudi trust fund babies?
Again, you need
They're
to.
involved.
You're such an asshole, bro.
What?
You're such an
I'm
asshole.
asking a question.
Yeah.
Why am I an asshole?
Where do we find them?
Yeah,
number
I'm asking
one?
you a question.
Where are they found?
Give me your thoughts. Where do you think you find the Saudi trust fund? Most of the Saudi trust fund
Again,
babies.
it's the
Road
idea,
Square.
the idea.
Which sectors? I'm asking.
Nah. Tell us more. Number one.
Here's the thing: when it comes to the idea of a trust fund, that doesn't really exist here per se.
Yeah, your family's just rich.
It's
Yeah.
called worth.
Yeah, it's called halal lahad.
Exactly.
So it's basically like you have, let's say,
Family
a
wealth.
family wealth. Your company, you have a family company that's run by.
No, you don't have a family company. You belong to a family company.
Well, whatever.
That's why the question was trust fund babies.
Yeah, it's basically like I've seen it because I'm trust fund baby adjacent,
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell when you can tell when a person wasn't hit as a child.
It wasn't beat down.
Yeah,
Hence my Allah يعينهم part.
yes,
You,
it's like as a trust fund baby-ish person, I was beat down, so I have realistic expectations in my life. I won't say, let's say, I can be a world-class tennis player because mommy said I can.
the question is, where do we find them?
Everywhere.
No.
No,
There's
there's a specific
places.
sector where they're all at.
Oh, the arts sector,
Yes, sir. The creative sector.
the creative sector. Listen, Adil, I this is my picture. I drew it, and it's about the patriarchy. It's symbolic.
But come on, it's nice and refreshing to be able to have the space and the room to create, Adil, isn't it? It is.
My net worth is 5 billion, but I'm gonna talk about my struggles.
That part. That's the part that pisses me off.
But it's hard to create, Adil.
No. Look, you can be a creative. I don't. If you have all the time in the world, I think we said it before on the podcast. Like, mostly like rich kids that have the time in the world to think creatively, right, and be artists and be whatever, because they have the flexibility and the blessings that they got
Alhamdulillah.
for them to do that.
ربي قدرهم.
Exactly. So there's no issues with me in that. My problem with that is when
You complain.
they start acting like they're broke.
Struggle.
Like, I'm just gonna jump on this one real quick. So there was this one person that I met and talking about like when she's abroad, she like lives broken down. Like she has nothing. Like she's surviving dollar to dollar, right? Not even paycheck to paycheck. It's like, yo, whatever I can get. And she's like living that life with all these struggling artists to say, I'm just like you. But they do not know that her last name is such a big name in the region. If you're into that sector of business, you'll know who the family name is, right? Like for us, if that person comes around and try to act like they're broke, we're like, bro, we know who your pops is.
بس تحتاج تعيش الجو عادل. She needs to.
That's the problem.
No.
No, that's the problem.
Okay, you have to understand. In order for me to
I don't have to understand shit. That's one.
authentically and truly create Adil, I must taste the struggle of sadness.
That's the
You know?
problem of the myth of the starving artist, because it's a myth.
Exactly.
Struggle and suffering does not.
Equal
does not create creativity.
Yes,
I think all the Russian authors of the past century would disagree.
I mean,
That was a totally different time
that's
zone.
a different vibe.
Capitalism is at an all-time high this last like 3 decades.
Well, that's the thing, Adil. If there's no struggle, then where is the
By
creative
being-
tension coming
by
from?
being interesting and saying new things.
Exactly.
And having
thinking
an
outside-
opinion.
Exactly. When you know
No, you're giving me
things-
way too much credit. Okay, you want me to think new things? No, ya habibi, معلش. I am gonna sit here in this little starving artist box, and I'm gonna fit with the mold of everybody else because hey, that's how I get accepted. That's how I'm seen as a true artist. Otherwise, they're just gonna say, hey,
He's a trust fund
he's
baby.
a trust fund baby. There we go, full circle.
Your dad has a colon. You're not struggling.
Exactly.
But I'm struggling for my art. I'm struggling for my meaning to be translated across.
Now look, when it comes to like
y'all understand what I'm saying. I'm not being facetious, you know?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Look, if it's about your emotions and your feelings and the struggle that you feel, because you can have all the money in the world and still not feel well, right?
true.
And things can still be bad for you. So that's completely normal. If that's the part that's like really affecting your life, I totally understand that. But playing the role of a fucking victim to get people's attention to your work, that doesn't fly with me.
I agree with that.
That's my
100%.
big problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And a lot of them are. And again, if Rabbi blessed your family with something, right, and you're dealing with people that do not have as much as you have, don't try to compare yourself to them.
And it's even worse. Well, it's not just about comparing. It's about you allowing yourself to get down to their level, just so they are able to really accept you.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know,
You,
and I
you
think
don't
that-
need everyone to accept you on a bunch of bullshit. No, I can accept you. I don't care how much you have. You could be a great artist with all the money behind you. You can be, right? It's not a problem. But do not sell me off as this broken-hearted person and that you need like help and shit. No, you don't. Just relax, bro.
It's for the art, Had.
Exactly.
It's for the art.
Take up acting. Right? Just go be an actor.
I mean, I can't act broke. You know, it's hard to act broke when I'll have all this pedigree. You know, it's different, man. It's different.
Look, I know a lot of trust fund babies, and I mean a lot.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, you know some of them.
I'm sure you do.
Right?
Yeah.
But I respect them for a lot of things. Like they're trying to make their own name within their family.
And they're trying to actually fill their time with something that's actually, you know, practical and useful for them. You know?
And some of them want to follow in their family's footstep, but in their own way. So like, yo, my family is in like, I don't know, like architecture. I'm gonna start my own firm for me to push my own ideology in the way how I see things, right?
Yeah.
You start competing with your own family company. That's a great thing.
Yeah. It's called
And
the
then
boutique.
cornering the market and monopolies. But that's a different conversation.
I'm the boutique offshoot that has the Danish designer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and it's a different game.
But anyway.
Too much truth. Too much truth.
Yeah, no,
too much
it's not
truth على
too
اول
much truth.
على اول يوم رمضان يا بعد دول خل العالم تفطر
تفضلوا يا جماعة.
خل العالم تشرب انتو.
Anyway.
Good episode, guys. Good episode. That's a good one.
سلامتكم.
خلاص man.
We're done.
ورانا سحور.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Shout out tens and listeners. Shout out tens of viewers. Thank you for being here. We appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to Big Head. Turks, hope you feel better, my guy.
No, we don't.
He's not going to listen to this anyway. So fuck him. Anyway, we out?
We out.
Peace.
Peace.